Eric with Archive Garage again, returning for our probably the final word on the products sitting over here in the back of the Archive Tacoma. Real quick, just want to show off Archive shock relocations. Been through hell. Rough Buffalo winters, you know. 2.5 Fox racing shock in there. Archive Garage hammer hangers. That's where the name's getting built on, right there. Cross tube connecting them. Okay, so let's get on to the pros and cons of these products that I've come to like and use and swear by. I just got newly exposed to this after Toyota did the treatment corrosion resistant compound on our Sequoia. I believe this is a very similar product or possibly the same. I'm not sure on that. But let's talk about the pros. It's tar. It doesn't really dry out, as you saw in the very first video. It goes on very uniformly. It covers nicely and thickly, and it really doesn't flow. So those are probably the pros. Cons, I would say it's about $15–16 a can if you buy it online, and it smells toxic and good. But it's not really a pain to apply. Very easy. So let's move on to fluid film. It's gaining popularity. You see it around a lot now. It says it's lanolin based, no solvents, non-toxic, non-hazardous. Those are good things. I do believe it protects very well. It lacks a little bit in the application compared to the Noxidol. It's a little bit more like, it just doesn't spray out as cleanly, and you know, it kind of foams when you spray it. Now you can buy gallon jugs of it and brush it on as well. I know my cousin does that. But another pro, I would say, it's only $10 a can, and it does go a decent way. Then we've got WD-40, kind of an old standby. The strengths, I would say, are the price. It's around $7 a can. You can get it with this, you know, spray or a nozzle. You just flip. The fluid film does come with a straw, and it's just missing from this can. But you know, as it says here, what it was really designed for originally was to drive out moisture. This is WD, stands for water displacement. So it's good at removing water that's stuck between parts and replacing it with a nice oil that's going to help protect. The other pro, I would say, is it's very thin, and so that helps it run into certain areas, especially with gravity, probably a little bit with heat. I will say, going back to the fluid film, it also flows, especially when it gets warm. So like, you could spray it on and it's not flowing if it's cold outside, but then, you know, you take a trip to Florida like we did and it was suddenly dripping out of the hood. Which just meant, for me, I like that. It flows into the areas that you want to protect. You want to make sure that it moves around and fills up any areas where water and oxygen could get. So that's kind of the pros and cons of the three here that I have. Just to highlight real quick, I am a big fan of the Crown product that I said before. I paid someone, Superior Auto Sales in Hamburg, New York, to apply that, and I'm a big fan of it. That's my favorite so far. If I'm going to pay someone to do it, but if I'm going to take care of my own stuff, these are kind of the products that I've come to appreciate, and honestly I would probably use all three of these to properly treat a vehicle, in my opinion. And again, going back to the environment, I'm here in Buffalo, New York. You know, I've been working on cars for 2 decades now, and I've seen all of the problems that come from leaving a vehicle uncoated. So yeah, next let's do some application with these products, and we'll take a look at their pluses and minuses. So we're going to do a quick side-by-side comparison of these three, and we're going to just spray it on a piece of cardboard here and just see how it comes out. Talk a little bit more about pros and cons too. So the WD-40, I just wanted to mention too, it's probably great for cavities, or you know, areas that are protected from high wear from weather. You know, otherwise it's probably just going to get washed off pretty quick. But you know, it comes out nice, and that could start flowing immediately into those trouble areas where the strength plates are riveted in. Could be really, I think it'd be fantastic for an immediate treatment of those areas, kind of almost like an initial treatment. So that's kind of the pros, what I'm thinking there. Here we've got the fluid film, one can without the straw. Let's take a look at that. It does tend to foam up initially, those kind of pop, and you know, you're kind of left with kind of a, I don't know, I'd say maybe like 5 to 10 thou thick, like kind of, I don't know, haze, you know. Next we've got the Noxidol 900, which is my favorite to apply. So, yeah, kind of hard to see here, but you know, it starts, you can build it up pretty thick too. So let's see if we can't get a little, you know, you can see that that seems to me to be about 10 thousandths thick. Anyways, that's a quick side-by-side comparison. Next, I want to show you applying some Noxidol 900 to my Tundra frame, because that is the plan.